And greetings. This is the Long in the Boot podcast, the podcast coming to you from the heel of the boot of Southwest Louisiana. I am your host, G Long, and sitting across the way on this Christmas day is Deb.
Hello. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Merry Christmas.
I tell you.
You
got it, baby.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, even with the phlegm.
Yeah, a little bit of phlegm.
Actually, maybe the phlegm helps. Gives you that deeper ho-ho-ho.
I don't know. I don't know if it works or not.
I don't either.
I'm not sure.
I'm just saying that to make you feel better.
Well, thank you.
I'm pumping you up.
I'm feeling pretty good, actually.
You're getting better.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
But it has been a very phlegmy.
Yes, we've been down with the
days.
Sickness.
You know how it is. You get your vacation, and the first day of your vacation, you go, gosh, my throat hurts a little bit today.
No,
That's
we were
weird.
sick before that. You had to take a day off. They sent me home.
That's true.
Yeah, it
Good
was.
point.
I was grateful though.
And then I went back to school. Maybe that was the problem. That's what did it.
That is it.
I was exposed to another virus.
Yeah, and then it double whammied.
Yes.
Okay.
I was.
Be careful of the double whammy, people. But it is Christmas Day. Do you remember all your stats for the podcast? Can you tell people how to get in touch with us?
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's easy. It's longintheboot@gmail.com. And if you want to give us a holler, it's 337-502-9011. And you can talk to us. In fact, I'm considering I'm studying how to do a live podcast.
Oh, and allow people to call in during
And I will
the course
alert
of our
a few people.
conversation?
Yes. And
Because we have some tried and true followers. Some
oh,
people
absolutely.
That are just
and if they know
dedicated.
we're recording it at a certain time. And by the way, speaking of which, we are actually recording this on Monday, December 25th. It is Christmas Day.
2023.
Which is either cool or sad.
Well, no, we waited.
You know,
Yeah, we're empty nesters, so we got time.
And I skipped last Sunday because, Christmas, and I was starting to feel bad.
We didn't skip last Sunday because of Christmas.
Well, no, we took off.
Yeah, we took off for the holiday.
But that was celebrating Christmas, sort of.
They're going to know our lies.
Already, yeah.
Okay. We're late. We didn't give them an episode that we were supposed to last Wednesday.
They didn't get one on Wednesday.
Yes, they did not.
And they're going to not get one on this Wednesday because I'm going to put it out before Wednesday.
Are you?
And today, if we don't suck too bad, it may even go out today.
You're just going to do it as a Christmas bonus?
It's a Christmas present to all our listeners.
Gee, that would be awesome.
Well,
I feel like I'm getting a gift right now.
I think it would be pretty awesome for the people listening to be able to listen to us sooner.
On their Christmas night.
Because it must be pretty fine being you listening to us.
Okay.
There we go.
Work
that in.
You had to do that.
Yeah, I did. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, a lot has happened. I don't think we're going to talk about any of it, though.
Like, you mean what? All the politics stuff?
Politics and all that. We're not doing a potpourri episode. We have actually had a topic for a bit.
We've been playing around with this topic.
We held on to it, waiting
grooming
for
it. We've been grooming this topic and trimming this topic.
Oiling it. Shaping it.
That's it. Looking at its history.
Yes, because that's what we do.
And we are, of course, talking about something that's very popular this time of year because it is, in fact, the beard season.
It is the beard season because it's chilly outside.
That's right.
Yes.
And so if you want to see beards in the wild, really it's winter time. That's when they come out.
That is when
especially.
They come out.
Now sometimes some beards are in fact, annual. They're always here.
They stay all year.
Yeah, they're more like what do we call it in the plant world? Plants that stay all year.
Oh, perennial
beards. We do have perennial beards.
And then there's annual.
And then we have the annual beards.
Biannual.
Okay. That sounds good.
I did want to start with, well, wait, first I'm going to say one thing.
Okay.
It's been a while since we've sat across from each other.
It's true.
And I'm glad to be here with you today.
Oh, yeah. I'm pretty thankful myself.
For our time to look at each other and talk to each other like people, not like a married couple, but just like people.
Yeah.
Because married
listening to each and every word.
Yes, because we don't always do that.
What'd you say? Fished in.
Again, I'm trying to compliment you, and you're just brushing me off like some bottom.
That's not true.
I'm going to not say the word because it's a Christmas episode.
Look, I appreciate you more than I could ever explain in words, honey.
Oh, all right. You all heard that.
There you go.
Okay. I did want to start with one little, they do that end of the year stuff, and there were some words that were the yearly words. Last time we talked about the most researched, which was authenticity. People had to look that up because apparently they didn't
Nobody's
know
authentic.
They didn't know what the hell it meant or how are you meaning that. And then actually the story I saved to lead us into our topic today, which we're still holding. We haven't told them. Yes.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you just made all the grooming innuendos and didn't
No.
actually
We talked about seeing beards in the wild.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And let's not forget.
Sorry, I wasn't listening
let's
to
not
you.
see what. You see, the thing is, this time of year, there's something about. Who is that guy? That guy that has the beard. There's a guy this time.
Oh, you want to
go
go straight to that?
No. I'm just saying that was the topic, though, because
of the iconic
iconic beard, the most iconic of beards,
the whitest, the most pristine symbol around the world
and
of holiday season.
And who's that again?
All right, Santa baby. The question was, is it rude to have sex as a guest in someone's home over the holidays? That was the.
Let's ask Santa.
We're going to ask the sex expert.
Santa.
Yes, Santa. Santa knows nothing about. Santa doesn't.
He's been
have
satisfying
sex.
Mrs. Claus for quite some time.
I think they're pure and they don't have it.
Oh,
they don't do it. There are no Santa children. There are only elves.
There's a question we should have researched.
What does
Santa have?
Does he produce elf babies?
A unit. Maybe they're just genderless.
Oh, like Barbie and Ken?
Ooh.
That was a hot topic too. All right, so it's not rude. You should expect that. Guests come to your home and they're probably going to have sex in your bed. Take the sheets off as a sign to your hosts to let them know that, don't, as a host, don't just go, oh, they didn't have sex in this bed and cover it back up and make the bed.
Ew.
Pretend like nothing happened. So
I think you should just expect it.
You should just expect it.
Unless they're, like really related or something. Maybe no.
And if you have a single male stay in your guest room or on your couch,
he's going to gator roll after he does his business.
You might need to, make sure you give him a sheet to lay on as well as a blanket to cover up. Okay.
Gator roll.
Also, the holiday parties and
you guys out there know what I'm talking about, don't you? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
We're not taking it to the trashy here.
You started it by talking about people having sex in bed.
Well, that's not trashy. House. That's just humans. That's what people do.
Aren't humans trashy?
Sometimes. Depends on their beards. Holiday parties and hookups. 25% of Americans hook up at a holiday party at their office parties.
Yep.
25%.
Yep.
A third that go to holiday parties find somebody to hook up with. So that the CDC says that
guilt free.
The CDC
if everybody's
warns
on board. That's why.
Maybe. No. See, I think that's going to lead to trouble in the office as time goes on.
It depends on the sex. You know what? Here's my advice to you men out there who are going to have affairs for one night and one night only at the Christmas party. Be really bad. Just be horrible. Like make it, because you're still going to have fun, but you can make it just totally unenjoyable for the other person.
Oh, my God.
And then...
Ladies,
no problem.
Ladies,
there you go.
Just know that this is an attitude that's out there. The CDC warns you that booze can blur the lines of consent.
No shit. That's the point.
That's what the social lubricant of alcohol is for. So, the CDC, I love that they're the ones warning us here that alcohol is a social lubricant, but it should not grease the wheels of decision making.
Well, it does. So.
Flirting is great, but you might want to just swap numbers.
They don't call tequila liquid panty remover for nothing. Come on.
All right. One more part about this is the cuffing season. Did you know this term?
People like to be handcuffed while having sex at the office?
When I
on a bed that belongs to someone else?
No. At the office, they're on a desk. That makes it much more exciting.
Well, that means all you need really is some pledge then.
Okay. During the fall and winter, it's common for single people to link up just because they don't want to be lonely during the holiday season.
Sure.
But it's also known as the cuffing season.
Cuffing.
Not everyone stays together, right? It's December 11th is the most popular day for people to
break up so you don't have to buy your significant other a present.
Well, you break up or you have to make some social or some relationship decisions around this time of year. Unofficially, the National Breakup Month is January, but that's usually because you suddenly realize, oh, damn, I don't want to do this next year.
Because that's how long it took for the man to get over it.
All right. That was just some silliness about the holidays. So most of our people, I think most of our listeners, though, have large families. I see just a ton of beautiful children and trees and pajama matching and just some wonderful holiday things going on right now. So I'm glad that y'all are enjoying your families.
Absolutely. There are definitely some of those families out there that look just like the Norman Rockwell prints.
They do. And, speaking of that traditional image that we have, that Rockwell Coca-Cola Santa image, that's our history. That's where we're going to start tonight. We always start with a history, and then we do now, and then we do the future. So actually, I don't think I have a future right now for us.
Oh, who knows?
All right. So our iconic Santa with his fluffy white beard.
That's modern.
Where did that all start? That is a modern thing. However, Santa and the origins that led us to this Santa is kind of interesting. It's actually a theological reason that Santa has a beard. And it didn't have to go that way. It was a fight between the East and the West. So you want me to do the origin part and then you do the theology?
Well, I've got the beard. I've got like a whole history of just beards in general, not just Santa Claus beards.
Well, I'm going to start with the origins of Santa himself. Saint Nicholas, 3rd, 4th
Yeah, that's
century.
beard. That's more of a beard theology.
That's the beard theology. Okay, well.
Yeah. I mean, go ahead.
What are you going to do?
Just talk.
All right.
You do it. Go for it.
All right. Earliest accounts of Nicholas's life and deeds come a couple centuries, probably about 200 years after his time. How? Because that's how we do things. So
that's how we roll.
That's how everybody rolls. Now we're going to tell the story about 200 years later. And so you take it, with a grain of salt. But traditional biography is he was a wealthy man, Asia Minor today, modern day Turkey. He was a bishop and he used his wealth and position to help the poor and the needy. So the story that kind of stuck around was there was a poor man in his town. Man had 3 daughters, couldn't afford a dowry for any of these girls. So odds were they were going to end up in poverty or just prostitutes because what else is a poor girl to do? So he decided he was going to help the father, but the father would not accept any charity from him. So sneak out one night, drop down a couple bags of gold down the chimney, which lo and behold, there just happened to be some stockings drying by the fireplace.
Of course.
And that gold just slipped into those stockings. Right. There you go. All right. So they said he performed many miracles, like the miracle of getting the gold into the stocking. I don't know how that happened. Some people say that he actually attended the Council of Nicaea. And he was imprisoned under the Roman persecution. He was released later by Emperor Constantine. And after his death, he was sainted, right? They gave him a sainthood. A church was built after him about 200 years after his death when they decided to write all this down. And you can still visit that church today. Somewhere in Turkey.
Somewhere in Turkey.
In Turkey.
You want to get right over there.
I don't think we're going there right now.
I'm not going anywhere near that part of the world.
So he was really popular in the Christian world, right? Holland, his reputation as a gift giver made him the patron saint of children. And
well, that came kind of later, though. He was an Eastern Orthodox.
Well, I'm taking you there. Well, slow your roll, history man. Okay, Sinterklaas, right? The Dutch adopted him.
That comes later.
Well, I'm saying it was later.
I was going back talking about the whole thing about why you have the Eastern with beard.
I'm getting there.
Okay.
I'm going to take you there, and then I'm going to stop, and I'm going to let you go on.
Sure. Go ahead.
Damn. All right.
Well, I like to do history in a linear fashion, you say.
I like to cycle around until I get there. All right. Okay. So the Dutch decided they liked his style. So they rolled with it. Sinterklaas. It became a completely separate tradition, though, in England. So for the English, he was Old Man Christmas or Father Christmas, but his reputation was more of a kind of an adult right? He was more about the revelry and the drinking. And then we've talked about this aspect before. Those damn puritanical crackdowns on Christmas came along. The tradition of
all things fun.
On anything fun. So the English tradition of Father Christmas then ended up kind of getting merged with the Dutch Santa Claus or Sinterklaas. So Old Man Christmas was just this disreputable character. He tempted people into the sins of the flesh, which I had never heard before. Anyhow, about the Victorian time, we had this revival of Christmas, and at that point, they adopted that Santa Father Christmas merge, and he was more of this Dutch tradition over the English one. That's who won out.
Yes.
So then he was no longer, the bringer of sin to the office party.
Yeah, Dutch and Danish both together. Almost a Nordic Santa Claus.
Exactly. So that big white beard. So this is but leading to this view of Saint Nick with the beard, and that's where we get with the Turkish bishop in the 4th century and the beard theology. Why he has beard, and the other part of the church, the Christian church, the Roman side, did not.
Yeah. Well, it's because the church was split. They weren't even split.
No,
they didn't know what it was going to be.
Yeah,
yet.
They were having the councils. they were talking it out, and they had two very different views about whether a man should have a beard or not.
Yes, and all of the central tenets of Christianity had yet to be hammered out.
Yes,
all the things you can think of that are
Christian
tenets of Christianity
today
were not yet around. They were very vague, generally agreed upon things, but overall the doctrine, the actual mechanics of the church had not been created yet. Oh, and by the way, this is the Catholic Church and the Eastern Catholic Church, which would eventually become the Orthodox Church. But you Protestants, you'll just have to wait for 1,200 years.
Oh, okay.
Not a big.
That's all. That's not a long time. No. Okay.
Anyway, so what they would do is they would have these councils, these ecumenical councils, where they would literally just have a meeting and talk about what it means to be a Christian. And we had two versions, of course. We had the one that centered around Rome, the West, and the one centered at Constantinople, also known as Byzantium, and later to be known as Istanbul,
yes,
which just means in the city, which is always
and weird. That was our Saint Nick. He was that side of
yes, he was Eastern. But one of the things that were debated at these ecumenical councils was the position of the beard.
Yes, body hair in general.
The Eastern Church, basically the most powerful portion of the Christian church at this time, insisted that clerics grow their beards because, hey, Jesus had a beard, his apostles had beards, therefore you should have beards.
Yes. Men grow them naturally. God gave them that.
And the reason you did that was to reject worldly vanity. And I should point out that what they're talking about are the Greeks. At this time, the Greeks did not have beards. They generally didn't have them. Romans also later didn't have them as much because being clean shaven was a sign of wealth. It meant you had power. You had somebody who could shave you.
Well, St. Peter wanted you to shave the top of your head as well.
So the whole idea was that vanity, if you grew a beard, you were rejecting vanity and respecting the Old Testament.
Yes.
However, in the West, they believed that St. Peter had brought a new tradition to religion, and that was to not only shave your beard off, but to shave a big chunk of your head as well, a big circle.
You had a big circle on your head.
So, basically, it's what you're doing with that is
like a visor.
You've got a flesh yarmulke on top of your head. That was a tonsure, by the way, a tonsure. Yeah, when you think about monks, that's what they've got.
So, but they're showing humility. They've shaved that as a sign that they are humble.
Right, and this became a huge bone of contention, though. This whole thing about
fought
beards.
about this.
Early church fathers, Augustine of Hippo, Clement of Alexandria, argued very strongly for the beard. And here's the best part. Before Nicholas, Clement was 150 years before Nicholas.
Before St. Nick.
Already talking about the importance of beards. In his book called The Instructor, one contained a chapter that said, against men who embellish themselves. The majority of the chapter is an argument that men should let nature take its course with facial and body hair. He said, quote, How womanly it is for one who is a man to comb himself and shave himself with a razor for the sake of fine effect, and to arrange his hair at the mirror, shave his cheeks, pluck hairs out of them, and smooth them. For God wished women to be smooth, and to rejoice in their locks alone, growing spontaneously as a horse in his mane.
As a horse in his mane.
But he adorned man like lions. Talking about God here. He adorned man like lions with a beard, and endowed him as an attribute of manhood, with a hairy chest, a sign of strength and rule. It is therefore impious to desecrate the symbol of manhood, the hairiness.
Do not desecrate your hair, men. Do not.
That's right. And so, obviously, he was feeling pretty strongly about this.
Well, poor Clement would be just confused as all get out today. He wouldn't know what to do. Yes.
We have St. Paul.
How womanly is
St. Paul on hair. Judge for yourselves. Is it proper for a woman to pray to God with her head uncovered? The answer at the time was no. Does not the very nature of things teach you that if a man has long hair, it is a disgrace to him? But that if a woman has long hair, it is her glory?
It's her crowning glory.
For long hair is given to her as a covering. By the way, just think what you will about women who aren't allowed to cut their hair today in religious practices.
Yes.
If anyone wants to be contentious about this, we have no other practice, nor do the churches of God.
Oh,
there you go. 1 Corinthians. He was talking to the people in Corinth. So somebody in Corinth went, hey, St. Paul, love your show. First time caller. What do you think about hair?
Long, beautiful hair.
Augustine of Hippo lived about the same time as Nicholas, and he also was very serious about the beard.
This goes on.
And this is my favorite, though, because he is a philosopher. Augustine is one of the first philosopher monks.
Okay, so he's just not only thinking about it in a godly way. He's thinking
he's trying to make it logic.
Yeah.
There are some details of the body which are there for simply aesthetic reasons and for no practical purpose. For instance, the nipples on a man's chest and the beard on his face, the latter being clearly for a masculine ornament, not for protection. This is shown by the fact that women's faces are hairless, and if women are the weaker sex, surely it would be more appropriate for them to be given such protection.
So if I need hair on my face to protect me, then
women don't need hair on their. They would be more likely to need hair to protect their necks because they're weaker. You see.
Well, but then I would say that my man is my beard.
I'm not saying he's logical. But he's trying.
But that would be my next line of reasoning, in that I would ask, well, shouldn't I, as a woman and be the weaker sex, then have a man as my beard?
Well,
which is not how we use the term today. Today we use the term a beard as a woman to hide behind. Yes.
He goes on, quote, to the beard. The beard signifies the courageous. The beard distinguishes the grown men, the earnest, the active, and the vigorous, so that when we describe such, we say he is a bearded man.
It just sounds sexy. I like it.
Oh, man. I mean, that's pretty serious stuff, you know?
Well, for them to have been arguing at that point in our history just so strongly for just that idea, whether or not you're allowed to shave your beard or should you shave a beard, and what it actually means to a man.
I would say, too, that Augustine would be quite confused today by a lot of other things well. I mean, like, he's talking about the nipples on a man's chest. They serve no purpose. I bet there are men out there that would argue that point.
Yeah. All right.
So, anyway, Saint
What would
Nicholas,
he think of piercing male nipples?
He would have had to have seen it in that time.
Piercing?
Of course.
Yeah, maybe.
Piercing was any kind of body adornment. I mean, people, what else did they have? Anyway,
right.
But since St. Nicholas was a bishop and he was from the East, and he followed in the footsteps of both Clement and Augustine, literally followed in their footsteps, that he would have for sure had a beard, no question.
Yeah.
He lived a long life. They know that, at least by tradition, because almost every mosaic of him and every picture of him, he is portrayed as an old man with hair and beard that are gray or white.
Yes.
And this image, as you had said earlier, was later pulled into the Sinterklaas tradition.
Yes, and then we revived all of that in the Victorian era in England, but they kind of pushed the party revelry Santa image to the side.
So if you've ever wondered why Santa has a beard It's because he believes in 4th century gender theology of the Eastern Orthodox Church. There you go.
So the man with the red robes of a bishop and the white hair.
The red is also something that was played around with, the colors of the clothes. Well,
yeah, but he was a bishop.
Yeah, I know.
That was the color at the time for them.
I was talking about later with Santa.
Because, and that's kind of where our topic actually started from.
Talking about Santa
and the argument because of the bearded and non-bearded, and they are still fiercely.
I believe the proper term is the beards and the no beards.
And the non-beards, yes.
And they don't like each other.
No, and man, I did not know that the Santa, it is an underworld that I had no idea it was so large across the world. Santas. Macy's got rid of the real beard Santas and went with the non-beards because they wanted them uniform. They wanted all of their Santas to have the same beards. Yak beard is the preferred material.
Well, I know when I wear a beard. It is always pure yak.
$2,000 to get a yak beard if you're going to be a Santa.
Just buy a yak.
God, dog, I know, and shave them. I don't know. Well, I don't know what a yak costs.
I don't either. Shipping must be a bitch.
Just get an arc.
Look, I need a yak, but see if they got them on Amazon so I can get free shipping.
Well, okay, so there's the background and the history for Santa himself, and I think it's interesting that theology dictates.
Oh, look, I asked, how much does it cost to ship a yak, and I've got a question.
Oh.
Popped right up, dead or alive?
Yeah, I could imagine dead is easier.
Dead's cheaper.
The smell, you better do it quick.
It's overnight.
I got a package that's been out there since
If we have
December
to kill it,
5th.
we'll send it overnight.
Can you get some ice?
Speaking of beards, though, just in the past, and it's still the history vein, I was looking at images.
Are you talking about the baseball players?
No. I'm talking ancient world, like way before Christians.
What?
Yeah, there was a time before Christianity.
I didn't.
I know it's shocking to everyone, but it's true. Anyway, Phoenicia. Who is she? Phoenicia.
I think she has she has a supermarket in Houston.
Phoenicia lives over there north of Israel. Today she calls herself Lebanon. Anyway, they had beards. They were really big about their beards, and they have statuary and various imagery that you can see what their beards actually looked like.
Oh, okay.
And they would take their beards and do these lines of curls. It's really wild.
Oh, like when a girl does the little twirly curls?
Yeah. Super tight.
I can't think of what
super tight, tiny curls, 4, 5, 6 rows. The more rows you had, the more higher status you had.
So symbolically, again, we're back to symbolism. There is that. It's really a lot of symbolism.
But they had no mustache. They didn't do their mustaches.
Well, but they choose that all the time. Sometimes that was me with the baseball players, how during a period of time, baseball players absolutely had no facial hair, and then they had only beards. Here, let me go to beard or not to beard.
Well, I was going to say another interesting thing about the past while you're looking.
Oh, okay.
In ancient Egypt, if you had a female pharaoh, she wore a beard.
An actual.
They actually made her put on a fake, a false beard.
They don't call it a merkin.
But this was a metal false beard. Oh. It was specifically because she couldn't grow a beard,
so that she would be as aggressive and
yes, it's it's called a postiche.
A postiche.
Yes, and
so if it's on the vagina, it's a merkin.
Well, I don't think you want to have a metal.
No. Well, no, that would be a chastity belt. You'd be doing that. I sent you a link just now.
Why?
Because I wanted you to see the same thing I was looking at, the 20 most popular beard styles, since you were talking about the statuary and their beards.
Well, I had a whole thing about.
Oh, did you?
I did. Now you see now.
Okay.
Now I'm not signed into Facebook. I don't live on Facebook.
Oh, that's fine. All right. Don't worry about it.
Man.
Okay. Well, and if you're called a beard today, then used to be a beard.
You're a beard. No, you're a beard.
If you were called a beard, you were a woman. And you were the counterpart to a gay man, right? You were his beard. You were his cover. So that nobody knew. And Hollywood was one of the big places where that was a huge thing because a male star could not be gay and be,
Okay,
accepted.
what do you want me to see here?
Well, I just wanted you to see all the different styles.
Well, I know the styles, dear.
I don't like the short stubble. Medium stubble's a little better, and long stubble.
Stubble is stupid.
Stubble is just a beard.
Stubble is a beard in its infancy. It's like
exactly.
It's like
it's Miami Vice Don Johnson. That just looks dirty. It looks like you. It's
like a fetal beard.
Yeah. Look, either grow it out or shave it, but don't. Yeah. Stubble just looks like you can't afford a razor.
And well, here's the thing. If you have short stubble for more than 5 days,
then you have long stubble.
Then you now have long stubble, and now you're just either on your way to a beard or you need to go back. But it's these guys who keep short stubble like for weeks. Mm-hmm. It's just that long.
Okay, but then look at the French fork and the ducktail. Look, it's like the ducktail is the reverse of the French fork. And see, they cut the middle
French
out
fork
of
is a full beard, but at the front, they pull the front part and under the chin into little
V, like
two little points.
Like a forked tongue of a snake.
Makes you look like gay Satan.
Yeah. I agree with that. And then the ducktail is the middle part that was cut out of the French fork.
Yeah, okay.
Circle beard, that's just a goatee. I don't know what's going on there.
The Van Dyke. I like the Van Dyke, kind of.
The extended goatee is okay. I like a mustache. I don't want you to have a beard if you don't have a mustache.
Why?
Because it's weird.
Did you hear that, son? Your mom hates your face.
No, Coda is very hirsute. He is like my dad.
Well, he's got a mustache and no beard.
But he grows a beard like in a day. I mean, come on. The stubble is always there. Daddy used to shave twice a day.
I guess we'll forgive him since the Air Force won't let him have a beard.
Well, when he's off, he can't help but grow it.
Yeah, I know. If he doesn't shave, he has a beard.
Okay, the imperial beard, what the hell is up with that? That's not a beard.
Sure it is.
It's just a stash.
What are you talking about?
Number 11, the imperial.
Oh.
People, I'm looking at the 20 most popular beard styles.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. Van Dyke.
The imperial is a handlebar mustache.
That's it.
Well, that's a handlebar mustache. That's just what we call it.
Well, but there's no beard there.
And I guess a handlebar mustache would actually extend further out.
And the anchor beard.
You know what the imperial is? That's the villain mustache, where you can twirl it between your fingers.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then just call it.
Okay,
the Balbo.
This is not a visual medium.
Okay.
So that doesn't really do us
all right.
good.
Then I'm going to go back to my baseball players because that was kind of interesting. I didn't expect that.
Oh, you want to talk to your baseball players, do you?
Yeah. Well, actually, I don't care for sports all that much. So back in the 1800s.
So you keep wanting to bring it up to the modern times. I like these ancient folk.
Well,
go ahead though. You talk about your baseball players.
Clean faces were the thing back in the day. In about the 1800s, a lot of the baseball players wore mustaches, but not beards. In 1890, the Brooklyn team, every single person in the picture had a mustache. And then at some point, the trend changed. At about the turn of the century, it died out. And then you had nothing but clean shaven. All the baseball cards showed clean shaven players. And that went on until the 60s. So for 60 years, a man named Finley in the A's, 1960, started to bring back facial hair. And then today, oh my God. There was a point, though, when the Yankees outlawed facial hair. Who'd you say George Steinbrenner didn't like facial hair?
He didn't let any of his players have facial hair.
Yeah, okay. Well, today they are
and then eventually, though, they allowed mustaches. Reggie Jackson was
well, yeah, in the 70s, everybody had a porn stash, right?
Everybody had a porn stash. That's right.
Everybody. So I thought that was kind of interesting for the players,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in history, of course, you have different time periods where beards were either politically allowed or not, too.
We know how the Middle Eastern men.
Well, during the Renaissance,
yeah.
If you were a pontiff, not a pontiff, but a monarch, you had a beard.
Oh,
Renaissance beards were absolutely important.
I had come across one about Henry VIII and how he was so proud of his beard because that's the manliness.
Yeah, and if you look like Francis Drake and the explorers have beards.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And what's his name in Florence? Medici. He definitely had a beard. I loved it as I'm reading about the political side of having beards. They talked about in China, beards were not necessarily an important feature of ruling class.
Well, no, they have a different skin type.
But they can't grow beards.
Yeah, they have different
not in the
skin.
same. Well, at least not all of them, and it's a different thing. So of course they would get rid of that.
Well, but then you have what about the Mongolian side? Well, no,
they're like Native Americans. It's hard for them to grow a big full beard.
Okay.
Later in the 17th century, when Russia was trying to become more European, Peter the Great decided, you know what? Since everybody in Europe is clean shaven, then everybody in Russia will be clean shaven.
But it was so cold there. I would think you'd want that. See, for that, it's protection.
But he forced his court to shave their beards. But what I love, the way he got rid of beards, he just made a tax. If you have a beard and you want to keep it, that's fine, but you better give me money.
Pay. You know what? That is probably the most effective way to handle that.
And so, yeah, it worked.
Because if the pocketbook is going to speak, buddy.
Yep.
And interesting.
And then we have this switch. We go from the 17th to the 18th century. The French Revolution comes along, and now people were going clean shaven, but then suddenly you started to see sideburns. Or side whiskers.
Is that like a little bit of a revolt? Then we get the mutton chops. We're moving towards the mutton chops because Victorian era mutton chops were really popular.
And then because of that, soldiers began having facial hair.
Well, I understand.
Regular society didn't.
I understand a soldier having it. If you're going to be out in battle and time to shave is just not, easy.
Right. And so then we get people having beards. Again, it rolls back around.
Think about it. Even Monty Python made fun of that, right? Out there in Africa, the people are dying everywhere, and he's got a piece of glass and he's shaving.
Yeah.
Right. You imagine that scene.
So the beard comes back, and it hung around with us for a while, but you just use the presidents as the example.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet.
The last president of the United States to wear any type of facial hair was Taft.
Damn.
And he left office in 1913.
Well,
so since 1913,
we haven't had a president.
President who has facial hair.
Well, okay, so that begs to go to the psychology of a beard. When studies in discovering, how a beard affects the way people view you, masculinity high, aggression high, power high. So women are looking at men with beards and judging them to be aggressive, too masculine, and it's intimidating. They showed them pictures of men with and without beards, same man, and their view changed dramatically. So
I don't think young people today, though, and I don't even, for that matter.
We know that
I'm not going to associate facial hair with any type of political ideology. It just doesn't work anymore.
I don't see it as political ideology. They're just doing it because for them, I think it's just fashion.
It's whatever they want to do.
Yeah, it's whatever I want to look like. If I want to have a man bun.
I see a plethora of beards today.
Yes.
And that's fine. And I also see a lot of people without beards.
Okay, so then
I even seen some women with beards.
So then if we view beards then as being aggressive, identifying a man as extremely masculine, then why is Santa such a beloved? I mean, wouldn't you look at him and why is he not seen as, aggressive?
Well, I think...
Is it just because it's a white beard?
Well, first of all, you don't mess with Santa.
Masculinity, dominance, power, and maturity.
I'm not recommending Violent Night. However, if you want to see Santa get angry, that's the movie. Santa, and it's not for kids.
But there's a great kid in it. She did a great job.
She did.
Okay. And they're going to make a 2, Violent Night 2.
I think part of what made clean shavenness much like bathing and smoking is advertising in America. So think about it. Taft leaves in 1913.
All right.
They come out with the safety razor, Gillette safety razor, instead of a straight razor.
That you screw.
It had little trap doors.
Yeah, and it opened up. That I cut the shit out of myself on trying to
That
shave.
Came out in time for World War I, even before that.
Yeah.
Possibly even the Spanish-American War. But for sure it was in 19...
so marketing.
Yeah, because I've got the ad for it here, and it's got Uncle Sam's best gunners are the best marksmen in the world. And then at the bottom, it's brought to you by the Gillette Safety Razor Company. This is the same time that soap companies started advertising heavily, and bathing became
hygiene,
far more
more of a thing.
Mouthwash toothpaste, razor blades. There's a reason they're all in the same place in the store.
And douches.
Of course.
Yes. Feminine hygiene.
And tampons.
Yes. No, not yet.
No, not yet. First was pads.
Pads. Oh, Kotex.
Tampons were disgusting. Those were for trollops.
Yes, good girls did not wear that.
Yeah.
But those stupid little belts and safety pins. Ladies, you don't know how lucky you have it today. Bearded men are seen as 38% less generous, 36% less caring, and 51% less cheerful than clean-shaven men.
That's odd.
So
I feel pretty jolly.
I picked those are weird statistics. Those are high numbers considering you can just get rid of it.
I will tell you now that I guarantee you a good sized chunk of men with beards, and I would put myself in this class too. I like having facial hair on my chin simply because it brings my jawline out.
Well, and
I know it.
I read that somewhere too, is like you're hiding something. So
Yeah.
clean shaven, you have nothing to hide. Your full face is there for all the world to see.
Sure.
And if you have a beard or a goatee, you're trying to hide something. I prefer you with just the goatee and the mustache.
I know.
Yes. But
Actually,
I let you go.
Actually, it's not a goatee. It's a circle beard.
It is a circle beard. Okay. But I let you go during the winter because it's cold.
Well, and I'm still kicking around the idea of being a Santa
and
Claus.
doing the Santa thing. That was part of the research too.
Yeah.
Really, there are a lot of Santa conventions out there.
There really are. And there, it's one of those things where I've thought about doing it. I know if I just let my beard go for a full year,
yes,
that I would have a pretty good Santa beard.
That was that one guy. He said,
and I can definitely ho my way around the Christmas tree.
He is a professional Santa.
Merry Christmas. You know, it's
he starts growing his beard around October, and he shaves on December 26th. No, actually, he grows for 6 months, so
Yes.
July, and then around October he begins to dye it, to bleach it white, so that it's that
Snow
pure,
white.
pristine white, and then shaves on December 26th. He's like, I really don't like the beard, but it's his job.
Yeah, and it can be a lucrative.
It can be, but you need to spend the money on it. Apparently, the boots,
you got to spend a fortune
the belt,
for boots
and the beard,
and a belt with the buckle
and the beard.
The one thing I hate about Santa's
Bs.
uniform, the modern Coca-Cola Santa.
No, I like the traditional.
I don't like the belt being as wide as it is.
Well, I like that one with the long coat with the squigglies, kind of almost. Almost a paisley look to the pattern. It's
right. I don't like
cool.
I don't like the pants. I like the I like the boots to not be real tall. Mm-hmm. You know, and because Santa works for a living, he shouldn't be all shiny with uncomfortable boots that come up to his knees.
Well,
you know, and so that's always bugged me. But I like that to the knees coat.
To the knees.
And then a different kind of belt. Most Santas have these gigantic belt buckles.
Yeah, the
just
large,
look fake.
They look weird because they've usually got a big belly.
Right.
So,
and I got that. I got that part.
See, you are well on your way.
But the problem is, again, beards overall, they get itchy after a while, and I don't care for
Well, that's
beard.
why I like that one
tough.
Santa's little description of how he handled the beard thing, you know, because there were people going, hey, can somebody
Well, I don't know
questions?
if 6 months would be enough for me to grow a beard. My beard doesn't grow that fast on the sides of my face. Does in the front.
Oh, yeah, the front gets
You know what's weird?
unruly.
Hey, guys, fun fact for those of you who are going bald, and first allow me to say, couldn't happen to a better person. That's only because I already went through it. Anyway, so here's the fun fact. If you have a really awesome beard, the chemical that makes it possible for you to have that beard is the same one that takes your hair away from the top of your head.
Irony.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Yep.
More confusion in the world. That's all.
It's a form of testosterone, actually.
Well, but that's the whole point behind the beard, right? You're showing your manliness. What are you doing women see that, and some women are directly attracted to that, and other women.
Although I do think if you are bald, just shave your head.
Oh yeah, just go for it.
Don't
do the comb over.
No, God, no.
And if you're like, Bill Gates or somebody, and you can afford to have an actual implants put in, and you'd go for that, but don't do the cheesy bullshit.
Wait, are you telling people to get boobs?
Boobs?
You said implants. I heard implants.
You can implant many things, dear.
Oh, do tell.
Oh, yes. Many things can be implanted these days.
Like what?
We can get penile implants. We can get butt implants.
Ow.
Chin implants.
No.
What else? We've surpassed the breast long ago.
No, I knew that.
Long ago. Do you want to hear some
Nope.
words for hirsute?
Oh, for hairiness?
Yes. Furred, woolly.
Furred.
Fleecy, bewhiskered. That's my favorite. I like bewhiskered.
Bewhiskered.
Stubbled, fuzzy,
Stubbled.
nappy, stubbly, brushy, unshorn. That's my second favorite.
Well,
fluffy.
There's a reason we find that one funny.
Yes. Cottony, furry, bristly, shaggy, and for some reason, silky is a synonym for hirsute.
Really?
I just challenge everybody to use bewhiskered or unshorn.
Well, I will tell you that if you have a beard, a good Latin word for that, barbatus.
Barbatus.
Yep. It's means bearded.
Okay. Bearded. I like learning new words.
Yep. Barbatus.
Barbatus. I just like hirsute. Covered with hair. He wore a hirsute mask as part of his werewolf costume. Okay. Maybe that's why we're attracted to werewolves. Maybe that's why we like werewolf stories too. It's that Jekyll and Hyde kind of thing.
Maybe so.
Maybe people, we really just kind of like that. And yeah, I don't know. I hadn't really thought about it before. But
yeah. And then of course there's beard and mustache championships around the world.
Mustachioed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even if you really think about it, even the contest they have down in Florida every year to see who looks the most like Ernest Hemingway.
Yes.
It's that picture of him with his beard.
It's the little scrubbly, kind of stubby look.
Gray.
Well, and that's my advice from a female point of view.
Yeah.
If you're a man and you're trying, how do I attract the ladies? I need a beard.
Grow a beard.
Okay. If you're not growing something that you can groom and can look good, then just stop. Don't a ZZ top.
And you got to wash your beard.
No. Well, yeah, and that was my next point. It needs to smell nice. When I get close, I want to do a Joe Biden sniff. I want to smell it.
Yeah.
And it needs to smell nice, like a little bay rum scent or some kind
Nothing too fruity.
No. And I don't like florals.
No.
Don't be that.
Amber works.
So
Sandalwood,
something nice.
Something musky.
Yeah. No patchouli.
Oh God, no. Can we just go ahead? Men. Patchouli is the devil's incense.
The devil's scent.
If you smell it, run for your lives.
No, I was going to go there. Okay, so that's from my point of view. Some women, and maybe if you're a gay man, that you may have people that want a different, scent. But all in all, it needs to be clean. It doesn't need to have dandruff. Condition it. Care for it. Buy your product.
Hey, I just thought of something.
Did you? For
people out there who would like their man, for women, if you would like your men's beard to smell like feet, Parmesan Romano cheese rubbed into the beard. I think you might have something.
What? Where did that come from?
I don't know. It just popped into my head.
It's not even right.
And I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and say it.
You need to tell me how long do we have? Because
we can end this at any time.
Because I think you've gone a little over the top.
Well, it must be this tea I've been drinking.
Yes, we've been teetotaling today. Well, you got the tea, and I got a little cappuccino. Maybe that's why I'm wired.
Maybe
feeling a little hyper.
I wanted something warm.
Normally we have our cider and you have a beer or something.
Yeah, but I needed something warm while I was talking today.
Yeah. And it's Christmas Day.
Because I wanted my voice to sound.
And I'm not about Father
sexy.
Christmas. I'm all about the traditional Dutch Sinterklaas.
Yeah.
There.
They got rid of Black Pete though.
The hell's that?
He was the guy that helped Sinterklaas.
Oh.
And because
black like a chunk of coal?
No, he's just he's Black Pete.
I could give you a line from Violent Night about coal.
You didn't know about Black Pete?
I don't know.
Oh, come on.
It's not a thing I keep in my head. You keep all those useless facts. I deal in reality, baby.
He was Zwart Piet. Black Pete, companion of St. Nicholas.
There was a black man in Turkey?
No. This is St. Nicholas, Sinterklaas. Right?
Okay.
And Black Pete was a companion of Sinterklaas.
Okay.
And he's gone through a bunch of different stages.
He was a sidekick. Okay.
And he was known he was known as Black Pete because he would, when going down the chimneys, he would get soot all over him. Okay. So he was also known as Sooty Pete. Oh. But in the 2000s, it began to be argued that his character was a negative image of black people, and parallels were drawn to white people doing American blackface because, get this, in Holland, people who play Black Pete put white people who would put dark stuff on their face. Well,
they're in Holland. There's not a lot of dark people in Holland.
Anyway.
Or there wasn't.
So as time has been going by, they've gradually got rid of Black Pete, who would literally have his whole face brown or black. And now what they do is they put like streaks of soot on their face so it's not offensive.
Okay.
I know.
Wow. All right.
And they don't really know where the thing came from with him, but some people have said the origins were actually to the crows that would ride with Odin when he would do the wild hunt, which was, I don't want to get into the whole thing, but
okay.
Anyway, so over time,
don't change the
ravens.
The ravens.
Yeah, there's two ravens that would always go.
We sent ravens.
They would always go with Odin, and they would listen to all the things he would say, and it seems as if Sooty Pete was kind of playing the same general character.
Well, that adds an element of mythology.
Yeah, okay. And then some said it was because he was scorched from the fireplace and that kind of thing. So anyway, just thought I'd throw that in.
Another thing we've thrown out because of fear.
Well, we don't want people thinking.
We don't want anybody upset.
Yeah,
because I'm sure so many people of color were offended that actually it was probably,
I don't think
it was just white people.
I'm sure it was.
It was white people.
But I will say that all the advertising from the Netherlands from the 1950s and 60s, Sooty Pete is the caricature.
He's right there.
He's the black caricature that you used to see in the old 1920s and 30s. I'm just saying.
All right.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just saying that's what it looks like.
Well, now I have to look and see if I've ever seen this before, making me look at stuff. Zwart Pete.
Yeah, that's him.
Yeah, all right. Dutch version, yeah.
Yeah, and so that's the problem.
Leave me alone, Wikipedia. I'm not giving you money.
It's colonialism.
West, Sinterklaas, Luxembourgish. Don't go to Luxembourg, folks. It's really expensive.
Unless you have lots of money.
Yeah, rich people go to Luxembourg.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, people like me.
Anyway, but we can wrap it up. We're good.
All right. Well, Merry Christmas.
It's been a fun Merry Christmas.
It has been a quiet Christmas.
Yes. Merry Christmas to all of you.
Yes. Enjoy your families. Enjoy this time.
Thank you for joining us for our little, get together.
Our little soiree.
Yes.
It's not an office party because we know what happens at office parties.
Well, yeah.
Well, at least for a third of you.
Well, with the staff we've got here at the Long in the Boot Studios.
We don't go there. Don't even go there. Don't even use the words. Okay.
Somebody go get that dog off the cat.
Oh, my God. How do we ship a yak?
Dead or alive?
Yakety yak. Why is that the number one question?
That just reminds me of the. I made that up.
Oh,
silly!
I believe you.
It's like, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time.
I know. Thank you, Zach Jones. I believed you because the internet is so absurd. Why wouldn't it be there?
Well, it probably is somewhere. I just pretended it was.
Okay, all right. Because I know you can ship boudin. Why couldn't you ship a yak?
You know what? I am sure you can ship a yak.
I'm sure you could.
I'm sure a yak has been.
What I really want a question answered, though, is what do I do to dispose of a used fire extinguisher?
That is a good question.
All right. I need to get
rid of it. We
don't really know.
Them,
but we're going to figure that out.
Well, first you build a big fire.
Yeah, throw it in. All right. We're not doing that this Christmas Eve.
Have you got a shark handy?
This Christmas Day. All right.
Jaws callback.
We sound like we're drunk. I don't even know anymore.
It's probably the cold medication.
Not me. I'm sober as can be.
No, not me, man. I got Robitussin, NyQuil,
Mucinex,
whiskey. It's all coursing through my veins.
Oh, you got tea. Shut up. Yeah, no, you're lying again. Bella, where are you? Why aren't you barking at him?
I got Lipton.
All right. Listening community.
But I did use special sugar.
I don't want to know. It's been a fabulous year.
It has.
We haven't had any hurricanes. The weather has been mostly okay, other than the scorching temperatures and
the
lack
drought.
of rain.
I think we can all agree the drought sucked.
We all know in our area, our electric bill is about to go up by 25% because there's no
Beauregard
water
Parish.
in the Mississippi.
Thanks, Mississippi River.
Damn you, weather.
The Mississippi River, she's a going dry.
And that's not even just a song anymore. It's real.
I know.
All right.
A silly thing to say, Hank.
I guess we're just going to wrap it up and tell our people so long. See you in 2.
See you next year.
Yeah, see you next year. We will be starting our 4th. We're moving towards our 4th year. We're almost at 10,000 downloads.
We'll start our 5th year in July.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I've been talking to you for a long time.
Yeah, and of course that's awesome for you.
Merry Christmas, baby.
I've enjoyed it myself. Oh, Merry Christmas to you.
Okay.
You sweet thing.
All right. Everybody, your joy, it's out there. It's portable. Take it with you. Share it. Spread it around like a Christmas gift.
That's right. Smack somebody in the face with your joy.
Like a sooty Christmas gift.
That's right. Y'all, we'll see you, in 2024.
Bye.
Yeah, well,
And we got government money for a adopted dog.
Again, not government money. It's our money.
It is our money.
Returned to us for a short amount of time that they will then get back by having, inflation.
Yes, or taxes on crap that they shouldn't have taxes on. Like my teaching certificate. Why do I have to pay every 5 years for something that I already paid for with blood, sweat, and student loans?
Blood, sweat, and student loans.
Yes. Whew, glad that part of my life is over.
Right?
Yeah.
Good.
Yep.
Blech.
But
it's terrible.
All right, here it is, Christmas Day. We're going to finally just do this.
Yeah, and get it done.
We've been down with the sickness. You have been down with the sickness. You know what? I'm going to roll your gaming chair over here and I'm going to prop my feet up.
It's going to make noise.
Well.
No, go ahead. Never stopped you before. Boom.
Is this going to work?
It's kind of high, man.
It is.
Why don't you sit in my gaming chair and pull the gear shift on the right,
no.
and it will lower the chair.
Ooh, pull the gear shift.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds nice. No, I think this might be okay. How's my sound?
You sound like you're far away from the microphone.
Well, it's limp. It's kind of limp.
Yeah, well.
All right. I'm going to...
You need to tighten the...
Did you watch me? I tightened.
I watched you go through the motions.
I tightened. I don't want to strip it.
I don't think you're going to strip it.
Damn Chinese bullshit.
So you're not a man.
I don't know what that means.
Women aren't strong enough to strip it out.
Oh, all right. Strength, huh?
Yes.
You push 2 babies out of your hole.
Excuse me?
I don't know.
You can't pull that one out.
I don't know. I hear women use it all the time.
Try gout. I see your 2 babies and raise you gout.
All right.
So there.
Hey, you had the king's disease.
That's right.
So
that means I'm awesome.
Stop eating all that damn meat.
It wasn't the meat.
It was the crystals.
It's a long story, but basically I don't get rid of uric acid properly.
So you're weak.
I have
and feeble like a woman.
I have a genetic issue that I'm sure I got from my mom's side of the family.
It's always the women.
Of
always
course.
Blame the mother. Are you going to push the button?
I could.
Don't do it yet.
Why?
I don't know. Hang on.
I think we're going to be doing that through the podcast.
I think it's going to happen.
I apologize. I apologize for the weird
phlegmy
human sounds
voice.
that we are making.
Yes.
Does that work?
And what about the dogs? Because they are not shutting up either.
They're going to be saying that there's lots of lies in this podcast, and I promise there won't be that many. How's that?
There. Warning sent. Go.